What is up, everybody? Mr. Purtis here. Welcome to the French Revolution. Welcome to Outcomes Part 1. There will be an Outcomes Part 2, but you just have to wait on the edge of your seat for that one. Just a reminder, in the last video, we talked about the causes of the French Revolution. There were 4 of them. Basically, people are being treated unfairly in France, social class structure, poor harvest. We have a weak leader, and then we have this other, the Enlightenment's going on, the American Revolution. People are kind of inspired. They want to change things. So this is the first part of the outcomes. There's a ton of stuff in here. We will go slowly in class and focus on each of these, but I just want to give you the quick overview, basic ideas, basic things that are happening, and then we'll kind of move on and go forward from there. So here's what we got. There's a couple phases of the French Revolution, and phase 1, the first part of this for the first 3, almost 4 years of the French Revolution, is this idea of more rights. Straight from the Enlightenment, people need more rights, get rid of absolute monarchy. And one of the things that's done during this first phase that's pretty significant and pretty important because it takes power away from Louis XVI, takes power away from the king, is what's called the Declaration of the Rights of Man. If you're familiar with U.S. government and our government structure, you know that we have a Constitution, and as part of the Constitution, we have the Bill of Rights, which are the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, which guarantee rights to all citizens of this country. The French do a similar thing, but they call theirs the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen. So in 1791, they issue this declaration, which has multiple amendments or parts to it. And essentially what it does is it guarantees rights to male citizens, things like freedom of speech, freedom of the press, what police officers can do. Can they enter your home without a warrant? What things do they need to be found guilty of a crime? So these are rights that are given to and guaranteed to citizens of the country that the government can never take away. Coming back to that idea from Locke and the Enlightenment, life, liberty, and property, this is the liberty part. What freedoms are required for any citizen of a country? This officially gets rid of the estate system. The estate system, the 3 estates that were in France for hundreds of years, is now gone. Everyone is considered equal based on the merits and what you contribute to society. So that is the Declaration of the Rights of Man. There's a problem, though, and if you remember from the Enlightenment, we had people talking about women's rights as well, and we have that here. This is Olympe de Gouges. She is a French Enlightenment thinker in the same kind of domain as Mary Wollstonecraft. She's a female writer. She's talking about women's rights. Because remember, this is right here is called the Declaration of the Rights of Man. And she's like, whoa, hold on one second. What about the other 50% of the population? Why aren't women included in this? Why are you specifically ignoring women? Why is it man, 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 male, man, man, male? And it has men all in this, but what about the females? And she writes a counter argument to the Declaration of the Rights of Man that she calls the Declaration of the Rights of Women. And she has all the same, almost all the same stuff, but she, instead of man, she replaces it with woman, or men and women. And by doing this, she's kind of, I want you to understand and show you that we have this idea of female equality well before the modern feminist movement begins. We have women questioning why their role in society is so much different. So she's going to be write this Declaration of the Rights of Women. Not to give it away, but she is going to get beheaded during the French Revolution, which will come in a second. So there's a couple issues during this first phase 1 of the French Revolution. It's going on for 3 or 4 years. People are still starving. There are still hangry people in France who want to know, where the heck is my food? And why am I so hungry? And why isn't the government doing anything about it? That's always an issue in revolutions. Number 2, we're at war with other countries. This is France right here in the 1780s. All of these countries, Austria, Holy Roman Empire, Netherlands, Britain, Prussia, Denmark, Sweden, blah, 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 you get it, are all monarchies. This country is taking away power from their monarch by granting people rights. These people are not happy because if revolution happens here, it's going to spread here next. So all of these countries kind of team up to invade or to stop this revolution from happening. So 1, people are hangry. 2, there's war going on. And 3, the king tries to escape France and go to Austria. I don't want to tell you too much about this because we'll talk about it in class. But all of these things are going on. And when Louis tries to escape, people kind of turn on him, which leads to phase 2 of the revolution. This is the radical phase. When I say the word radical, you should think a little crazy, a little out there, a little out of the ordinary, kind of beyond the realm of what you think is normal. Couple terms here. One is called the Jacobins. This is a political party right here. And this political party wins the elections in 1792 and 1793. They become very popular on their platform. And their platform or their goal is to get rid of all monarchy and anyone who is against the revolution. So if you're against the French Revolution, or you are for monarchy, or you are a monarch, or you are nobility, or you believe in the old system, we're done with you. You're out. So what they're going to do is, the leader of this is guys named Maximilien Robespierre, and this is Robespierre right here. He forms a group called the Committee of Public Safety, which is the goal of it is public safety. Think about it. Public safety. And his way of having public safety is to get rid of all the monarchy and anyone who is against the revolution. Public safety. So what he does is he says, if you are not with me, if you are against me, if you believe that the monarchy should be around, you're done. And what he does is he actually leads something called the Reign of Terror. Not reign like reign, but reign is in like a period. And it's about a 1.5 year period where anyone who is an enemy of the revolution, anyone, again, I'm going to say this one more time, anyone for monarchy or against the revolution is going to be executed. And the trial is like that. There's no huge, 6-month trial. It's like, we think you're guilty. We're going to chop your head off. And this 30,000 people in France are going to be killed over a 9-month period, including the king and queen. They're going to use this execution method, which is called the guillotine. Right here, this is the guillotine. They're going to chop people's heads off. They think it's a logical and ethical way to kill people. And again, something that we will talk more about in class of why it was logical, why they thought it was ethical, but it comes out of the Enlightenment. Everyone is treated equally by this machine. The king gets killed the same way as a poor peasant. And eventually, because there's so much tension and because people don't like this, what's going on, they are eventually going to kill and execute Robespierre. It takes a while because people are very scared of him. And when he is executed, this radical phase that lasts 2 years ends. So we go from, coming back here, we go from phase 1, which is more rights, phase 2, which is the radical phase, and then the final phase is going to be what's called the rise of Napoleon. This is Napoleon. You probably heard of him before. Not to be confused with Napoleon Dynamite. This is the man right here. He is a general during the French Revolution. He's known as he's kind of like the George Washington hero of the French Revolution. He considers himself, or kind of lets people believe, that he is an undefeated general. After this period of kind of craziness and after things start settling down, the government asked Napoleon to kind of come on to be part of their government. And eventually he tries to become the leader, and he gets elected as the leader of France. And 99% of the population voted for him, which usually tells you with 99% of the vote that something shady was going on. And there was something shady, and I'll tell you more about it in class as I keep saying this. But he is going to keep some revolutionary ideas. So he gets elected, he becomes the sole ruler of France, and he keeps some revolutionary ideas. Public schools, which are very equal, he ends slavery, and he creates fair taxation. So he keeps these ideas of the revolution, and he kind of comprises all of this stuff in what is called the Napoleonic Code. Basically like the law code of how the country is going to rule under him. In 1804, he actually crowns himself emperor. So he becomes emperor of France. This is the French Revolution. This is about equality and freedom and getting rid of the king and the monarchy. And here is this dude right here, crowning himself emperor. Boom, drops it on his head. I'm the emperor. And he says, France, come with me. Follow me. I will make France great again. And he starts going out and he invades places. And he takes over almost all of Europe. He gets Spain, the Holy Roman Empire, Austria, into Prussia, invades into Russia, which we'll get to. And this is what he creates, this huge empire. So he creates the empire. He keeps revolutionary ideas. And all of this comes back to, remember, the whole goal of the revolution is to get rid of the monarchy. And he is becoming a monarch in himself. So this is my overview. Quick, just highlighting some stuff that we're going to go over in class. 3 phases, all about rights, then the radical phase, then the rise of Napoleon. That's what I got. Fast, quick, to the point. Write down any questions. Make sure you take notes. If you didn't take notes, rewind this freaking thing and take some notes. Have a good day.